E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories, broadcasting and live streaming to millions of devices around the world, including Roku, and live streaming to Facebook Live, also on Amazon Fire TV, and to Twitch. Also, Android TV and Periscope. Broadcasting to Apple TV and YouTube Live. Proudly brought to you by our host, Donna, producer and host, Michaela Vidal, host and administrator, and Jim Grant, producer and host. Proudly brought to you by the 6minutewebinar.com.
Welcome to the Messages of Inspirational Stories. We are really excited to be here this afternoon. Jim?
We certainly are. You know, Donna, we have a lot of fun. And the thing that really makes this show so much fun for us is that the messages that we share with you, we're just simply the voice messengers. That's it.
Right. We're just a platform delivering it.
That's right. That's right. And this week we've been talking about the 7 levels of truth. And this is a copy of the book by Mr. Bill Heinrich. Bill is going to be with us on Friday's show. Yeah. And he's going to be doing a recap of all of the divine gifts that we have. And, you know, Donna, a lot of people are excited about that. I know that Mr. Aaron Hymas is very excited about the work that we do here. And we just want to give a shout out to the El Presidente of E360 TV, Mr. Aaron Hymas.
Absolutely.
Aaron, we know that
and everybody behind the scenes at E360 TV.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Especially our studio staff and everything that they do there. My goodness. They take care of us, and they, just get us out there on all those channels, because that's above my pay grade.
Mine too.
But Aaron, we just want to say hello to you and thank you so much for all the wonderful things that you're doing there. We're so honored to be a part of it. And what we're talking about there, folks, just a little bit of, it's more personal because of the growth that we're having at E360 TV. And if you're looking for a great platform to get your message out, just give us an email here at inspiration@E360TV. Our staff will get it, and we'll make sure you get in touch with Aaron, and he can answer any questions you have, because it's a wonderful platform.
It really is.
And they're good people to work with.
They're amazing people to work with.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
And you know what else, Donna? They like me.
Well,
so it's
that's
good to
an
be.
easy like.
Yeah, and it's nice to be liked. But we've been talking about divine gifts. There are divine gifts. And, you know, Donna, when we talk about that, this one sentence here, notice how Bill wrote this. And this is coming directly from Bill's book, The 7 Levels of Truth. He's a personal friend of ours. We endorse him. And he's going to be here Friday, of course. But your divine gifts are the energy that creates your true life purpose. Right. Oh my goodness. You and Bill Heinrich are in step on that, aren't you?
We are. And I love how, you know, we have the same philosophy, if you will, but his is finding your purpose, and my way is getting yourself unstuck so you can get there.
Yeah, it's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I was going to say it's almost in tandem. It goes in 2 steps, and so it really is a beautiful thing. And the way in which we do it are a little different, but you know what? It is all about the energy, and it is all about finding, you know, your true purpose in life.
Yeah, because you deal with the roadblocks of a person, a place, or a thing. Right. And I want to give a shout out for you. This is your website. DonnaGuinois.com. And if you'd like to just email Donna, highenergyrightnow@gmail.com, Donna will give you a free 30-minute consultation to help you discover where your roadblocks are,
Right.
how to untap that energy in there. Then round two, of course, is Mr. Bill Heinrich. We got to put Bill's website up there.
Absolutely.
Go to truelifepurposenow.com, just like you see there on the ticker tape, truelifepurposenow.com. Bill Heinrich will also give you a free 30-minute consultation. There's no cost to either one of the consultations. They're not going to chase you down by your email address and try to, sell you
We
something
won't
later.
hound you, folks.
Yeah. Because we all hate spam, and we all hate people that want to, try to convince us to buy stuff from them,
Right.
I mean-
That's not the way any of us are wired.
No. And one of the things that I do, I put in false phone numbers. So if any of you folks out there making phone calls from some of these weirdos wanting to, why did they get my phone number? I'm not interested in that, because every single time that I put down my email address for information, they want your phone number. And what do? Do they email you or call you?
They text you or call you.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. Send me because I'll look at it at my convenience. And it's very important for you to be congruent in everything.
Right.
And I'm getting off a little bit into marketing here, but let me just humbly say this, and I'm going to get off this subject here. How many times have you gotten an email in and you go, okay, that sounds kind of interesting. You click on it and it takes you to some page and you go like, where am I at?
Right.
You're looking at, and they're not congruent. So you got to be congruent in your message. And
Absolutely.
that's one thing that Bill is very good at in answering the biggest questions in your life. And so is Donna. Very congruent. And they complement each other. They really
Right.
do. And Donna, it's really amazing how you and Bill look at the divine gifts as that's part of our spiritual DNA, isn't it?
Right. And there is, for I can say for Bill, and I can definitely say for myself, in understanding where your divine gift is and that inner energy and happiness becomes such a peaceful and tranquil place to live.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have those outside struggles anymore because you know what? I'm honed into what I am good at, what I am here to do, what my purpose in this world is. And, I don't let the outside stuff really get in the way because it doesn't do us any good, folks. We're just borrowing something that we don't even know if it's going to happen or not.
Absolutely. And I like what Bill said, and he really brought it out very nicely. He did it on our radio show because Bill and I, we host the Your Future Is Now on the TogiNet radio station. We've got, you might say we have a few downloads. We've had over 6 million downloads of our show, and we quit counting at 6 million. I mean, because, it's all night long counting that high on your fingers and toes, And then you got to borrow someone else's fingers and toes, and they get mad at you.
Right.
But Bill, he really hit it home when he said, we are born into a world of survival. That's the physical world. Sometimes we get caught up in the physical and we enslave ourselves there. And Bill brings it out very well, and you do too, Donna, about how our mind can only bring up the past.
Right.
It cannot project the future. And as I've said before, and I want to say it again in case someone did not hear it that's watching, so many times in life, we look at the little rear view mirror of our vehicle.
We study it way too much.
And we're stuck in the past.
Yep.
Because all of our mind can only bring up the past, and we're looking at the rear view mirror of life. And Bill and Donna are all about, looking through the abundance of the windshield and enjoying two things in life. One is love, and the other one is abundance.
Right.
Donna, I don't know anyone that has a sane mind that would not love to be loved and
right,
love to enjoy abundance. And it's their right, isn't it?
right. And abundance is, when we talk about that, we're not necessarily, folks, talking about the abundance of money, because
Mm-mm.
money is, as we've all talked about, is a really poor motivator.
Oh
And
yeah.
so for the people who are motivated only by money, they're missing a lot of things in their life. They're
Mhm.
missing a lot of things in their life. Yep, they may have more money at the end of the day, but man, that can be a lonely place to live.
Mm.
It can be a real lonely place to live. So, the abundance is everything around us. It's
Mhm.
how the world works. How, for me, in the morning I go out and I always have my coffee out on the patio. I'm a very earthbound person. I like to have, my feet in the grass, and I like to garden, and I like to get my hands dirty and all that. But for me, it's noticing the birds and the hummingbirds, and making sure that they have their water, and all of the flowers, and how
Mm.
the bees. It's a giant energy synopsis, right? And
Right.
we're all connected to it, and
Mhm.
that is part of your abundance that
Mhm.
you don't want to miss out on,
Oh yeah,
because the
absolutely.
peace that it brings you is amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, because a lot of people, and I have too, to some degree, I've lived in my life, ladies and gentlemen, because I describe it as kind of like living inside of a pressure cooker. I mean, when I owned my manufacturing business, I mean, there were times when I'd look at my accounts receivable, because I did business with these big Fortune 100 companies, and they may take 60, 90 days to pay their bills, and
Right.
you have to pay your bills in 30 days. And I look at that and go like, oh man, it's kind of like the air I'm going to breathe tomorrow, the oxygen for
Right.
tomorrow. I can't, but right now I'm sucking wind. And
Hmm.
that's what prevents a small business from growing, because your cash flow is your blood flow of the business.
Right. Right.
But so many times I allowed myself to stay in that pressure cooker and punish myself, rob myself of health and energy. Fortunately, I didn't do too much damage to my health, but I certainly did shortchange my energy,
Right.
rather than looking at the positive things in my life that I am in charge of. Because I'm not in charge of when they're going to pay their bills,
Right.
these big companies, but I am in charge of how I react to it. I am in charge of how I let it make me feel on the inside.
Hmm.
And, like I tell people, one of my most favorite comments that I make, and it's so true, in the morning, this morning, for example, I got up and I told a friend, I says, I gave thanks for the heartbeat in my veins. I gave thanks for the breath in my lungs.
Yeah.
How important are those two?
Oh, those top it.
Yeah, yeah. You don't have either one of them, you're not going to have a good day. You're going to be down there shaking hands with the undertaker before the sun sets.
Right.
you know, I mean, but we don't. So many times we take the gifts that we're entitled to as just we take them for granted rather than giving thanks. Yes, we're entitled to heartbeat in our veins. Yes, we're entitled to oxygen and breath in our lungs, but we should still give thanks.
Hmm.
Give thanks in everything. That's important, isn't it, Donna?
It is. And it's also important to understand, and I'm going to read this because I think
Okay.
this is just beautifully said.
Hmm.
Your inner beliefs can change from time to time as you develop a deeper understanding of your true self and your purpose in life. Look for opportunities for growth and be very clear about your new intentions and belief patterns.
Mm. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you shared that, because that is a home run right there.
Right.
Bill is that's the way Bill talks. That's the way
It
he lives
is.
his life. I mean, he's not writing some, fairy tale. This is the way the man lives his life.
Mhm.
And no matter what happens, I've seen him in action, personally seen him in action. When the wheels come off the cart, and Bill says, everything's going to be okay.
Right.
He doesn't hit the panic button. And you know what? 100% of the time, Donna, I have seen all of that turmoil just go away when you
Mhm.
release it.
Right.
Now, if you embrace it, it's going to hang around.
Uh, it's going to actually multiply if you embrace it.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
is one of the things that was very hard for me, in all honesty, to let go of in my life, is hanging on to that. Oh my gosh, how am I going to fix it? Because I think by nature, we want to fix everything, right?
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
want to fix, and take care of it and be in charge. Well, guess
Mhm.
what? When we are in that mode, we can't see the answer.
Oh, yeah.
We're so focused right here on this little problem that we can't see out here in the answers that are going to be revealed themselves.
Mhm. And one of the things I like about Bill, Bill talks about the divine gifts, and we've covered some, and we're going to cover a couple more here today. But he talks about when you tap into the source and you understand the power that your divine gifts bring to you and give to you that you're so rightfully entitled to, all of the puzzles, pieces of life start coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill made a very interesting comment. I think he said it in his book too, but he's also said to me, he says, Jim, every single person that I coach, he says they've never tapped into their divine gifts. And that's why they need help. And that's why that they're struggling in life. And I know there's a lot of people out there, they're scared right now, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
They're living
Absolutely.
in fear. You know, this COVID virus, I know some people that scared so badly that the only time they go to the grocery stores when it's an absolute necessary thing to do. And if they could call in and get the groceries delivered to their car as they drive up, I forget what they call that.
Right. Curbside
Curbside.
service.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Thank you.
Or have it delivered to their house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, you know, the thing about something that you're not in control of, don't worry about it.
Right. I can say that we had groceries delivered to us for the first time
Mhm.
right when I was in the middle of COVID so bad. And unfortunately,
Oh yeah.
loving my husband as much as I do, I sweetly gave him COVID. And it's
Mm.
not funny, but it's kind of funny.
Hmm.
Uh, you share and you're in the same house. And
Hmm.
I thought, well, gosh darn it, we need some groceries here, and neither one of us are obviously can go out. So I
Hmm.
ordered groceries online. But
Hmm.
that was only because we were actually in that in between where we needed the groceries. But
Right,
it's
right.
something that I refuse to do. I refuse to let things that are outside of my
Hmm.
control me.
Yes, yes.
Right? I still going to live my life. I still enjoy, picking out my fruits and vegetables and etc. And so it was really strange for me um, to relinquish that in something that I enjoy. Not
Hmm.
because it's an issue for me to relinquish it, but it's something I enjoy.
Hmm.
I enjoy that getting, if you will, bringing the food and picking out what food comes to our house.
Oh yeah.
So I refuse to live in fear.
Yeah, I know what you mean because fear is something that will enslave you. It has its own jail, and so many people just go there willingly. And it's really amazing. You know, you look up the phobias on the internet.
Oh,
Oh my goodness gracious! You read some of them and you go like, "Are you kidding me?" Some people have a fear of sunlight.
right.
Sunlight? I mean, vitamin D3 is something we need, right? You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, but I'm not laughing at those folks. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to laugh at them. But it just shocks you when you see all of the phobia and fears out there. I can understand someone have arachnophobia, fear of spiders, and fear of heights, and all that. But some of the fears out there, and I can't think of any specific one off the top of my head. But when you read them, just do a Google search on phobias, and when you start reading the list, you go like, "You got to be kidding me." And there was one fear in there, a fear of your home. And I think that goes much deeper than just the house. I think that's the environment inside of the house.
Right.
And Donna, you talk very much about, when you're getting ready to release, you know, the fears and the problems that you have, it's either a person, a place,
Place.
or a thing.
Absolutely. It always comes down to one of those,
Hmm.
just because that is how we are wired.
Hmm.
And when we don't get rid of what is blocking us in our energy,
Hmm.
guess what? You can't find your true purpose in life because you're stuck right
Hmm.
here. And you can't even see it because you're not being able to release that blockage.
Hmm.
And so it's so important to find your divine healing.
Hmm. Yeah, because we get so distracted, trying to find our gifts or exercise our gifts because we are locked into the world of survival.
Hmm.
And you need to heal your mind, don't you, Donna?
You do. You do. And when you can heal your mind, it's an amazing process. And I'm speaking, for myself
Hmm.
at this moment. But um, when you can heal your mind of things that you cannot control, right? You
Right.
can only control how you react to it,
Hmm.
essentially. And so when you can control that, you find that, as Bill says, it's all okay. It is all going to work out. The pieces are going to come back together. And it maybe, guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be even better than what you thought.
Oh, yeah. And one of the things we hear a lot about is body and soul. That is totally backwards. You are a soul inside of a body.
Right.
Think about that because you were created um, and placed inside that body. And after this body goes away, you're still going to be you. And that's very important to understand that you come first
Right.
and your physical body comes second. You take care of you, and a lot of the things in your physical body will also come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
Donna, I think a lot about some of the things I've done in my life, and some of the going down the pathway of life, some of the potholes that I've hit that I could have went around, and some of the curves that I should have took a little slower. I missed a couple of curves along the way. But how important is it for someone to love themselves enough to forgive themselves of mistakes and aggravations and things of this nature?
That is the first step.
Hmm.
That is the first step because when we cannot forgive ourselves and love ourselves and say, you know what, it just is what it is, guys. It's just a mistake. It's just something, you know what, wasn't the right turn for me, but a lesson learned.
Hmm.
It's hard when we're stuck in that place up here, right? We're stuck there. And that's something, again, in the past. Think about that.
Hmm.
You made a
Right.
mistake. You did something, you screwed up yesterday. That's yesterday. It's in the past. So
Hmm.
you're so stuck there that it's blocking your energy from going forward into the future.
It sure is. I like the way you put that too, because when you get stuck in that mindset there, you can't, you feel hopeless
You
sometimes.
can't heal.
Yeah.
You cannot heal in a negative space. You
Right.
cannot
Right.
heal in a negative space.
Hmm. And there's a lot of books written on positive mental attitude and all that. And Napoleon Hill, I don't want to mention any names, but I was talking to a good friend of ours that Donna knows very well. And he says, the first time I heard this well known speaker speak, he sounds just like Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. But there's one other website I want to share with you folks
Mhm.
that goes in perfect harmony with what we're talking about. And that website it's on YouTube. It's a MP3 that's been updated or upgraded to YouTube. It's just got a solitary picture of the man, Earl Nightingale, so you can listen to it when you're driving down the road. You don't have to worry about missing a movie or anything. But the strangest secret.
Mhm.
And Earl in there talks about whatever it is that you want in life. Now, folks, I want you to focus in on this. Think about something that you really want to be in your life, where you want to be. As soon as you ask for it, it's all already yours. And that takes away, we're not talking about persons, places, or things. We're talking about the big picture, the real you, because you are a soul first with a body second.
It
The world
opens
tells
the
us,
door.
yeah, the world tells us you're a
that
body
path.
and soul, our
Mhm.
body and soul. They got it
And
backwards.
and it opens that door. It opens that
Mm,
pathway. So
yes.
look at it like that. When you're asking for it, it's opening that door so that you can see in there and create and get what it is that you're asking for in life.
And your subconscious mind, when you say it out loud, it registers in your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is your navigator because your
Right.
subconscious mind, listen to this now, your subconscious mind will not allow you to fail. Think about that for a moment. If you're putting garbage in your mind, I'm sorry, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. Your
Right.
mind, your subconscious mind is not going to let you succeed. It's going to, okay, you're sorry, you're a failure. Okay, let's look for sorry for things and failure, and let's look for heartache and everything else. That's the way the subconscious mind works.
Right. So how you feed it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Whether you feed it with a negative or a
Mhm.
positive, either way, you're going to be right.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Earl Nightingale. I'm going to talk about him a little bit more. Earl is no longer with us. I met him when I was 17 or 18, somewhere in there. I knew who he was, but ladies and gentlemen, I was way too young, too undereducated in life to appreciate who he was. But he talks about your mind is like, just as an analogy, is like the soil. You can plant corn, and the soil will bring up corn. If you, I think it's nightshade, a poison. If you plant nightshade in there, the earth's going to bring back the poisonous nightshade. It
Right.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what, because the soul is just going to, produce whatever you put in there. The same is true with your mind. That's why you need to guard what you listen to, what you watch, what you say, and what you think.
Mm-hmm. And that's most important.
Mm-hmm.
What we say to ourselves first
Mm-hmm.
is the most important thing.
Mm. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with you. The other day, I was filling up my the gas and oil in my chainsaw, so I had to turn it on the side. And the way my mind works, I got to do this, I got to do that, got to do the other. So I put the gas in there and put the oil in there and tighten up the oil thing. Oh yeah, I got to do this. So I run over and put the gas over there and came back with something else. I turned it back on its, straight up. And I didn't put the cap on, the gas cap, and it just, ran down my pant leg, and I immediately flipped it back. And what did I say to myself? Grant, you idiot.
You tell me.
And it caught me. That's a bad habit.
Right.
I need to scrub my brain with a with a wire brush. But
Right.
when you're honest with yourself, that allows you the opportunity to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." Apologize to yourself for saying things like that,
Right.
and say that was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
want to
change
go
your
like this.
verbiage.
There you go. And
Change your verbiage.
be sure and say it verbally, because that will
Right.
wake up that subconscious mind. That mind is important.
Mm-hmm.
That mind's like a parrot. A parrot. If a parrot hears bad words, what's a parrot going to repeat?
Oh, a couple things along the way.
Oh yeah, and they will always do it at the worst time when you got company there. Like.
Absolutely. Just,
But if
Murphy's
your
Law.
if your parrot only hears good things and good phrases and good words, it will repeat that. So you
Right.
want to practice that with our minds. We all need to do that. Nobody's
Right.
immune to that. And
Changing the paradigms in which you tell yourself and live in
right.
your own space of your
Mhm.
brain,
Mhm.
right? It filters, guys, out throughout our body
Oh,
in
it
the
does.
synopsis, right?
Mhm.
That it changes the way we feel.
Mhm.
It changes how we see things. It changes our demeanor and our feelings and our
Mhm.
attitude.
Mhm.
So, I equate it to If you eat healthy, your body is healthy.
Mhm.
If you eat junk food, your body is junk food.
Yeah, because your body is a processing center, not a recycling center.
Right, right.
But you know, Donna, too, one of the things that I like to do, and because I just love doing this, and that is I'll stand in front of the mirror. I'm in a room, I'm in the bathroom by myself, and my wife has learned, to, overlook when I'm talking to myself because obviously I'm looking for an intelligent conversation. But I'll look in the mirror and I say, I feel healthy, I feel happy, I feel terrific. And I do it
Mhm.
3 times and it helps build my energy up.
Right.
But for you folks out there, I'd like to challenge you to stand in front of your mirror with that no one else around and just say, I love myself. I love myself. I love myself.
Mhm.
And start right there because that is the starting point of all achievement is to love yourself first.
Yep.
That is the first step if you're heading down the road to abundance and you want to live in love and abundance and joy and jubilee in your life. Oh my goodness gracious, Donna, we could take this show on the road.
Well, and the thing is that when you find that harmony, that
Mm,
purpose, that balance of love within
mm.
yourself, guess what? It echoes throughout your life.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
case in point, all right? So my husband and I have both been down with COVID.
Hmm.
And it would be really easy feeling, a very bad flu is kind of what this is, a very bad flu. It
Hmm.
would have been really easy if we weren't in that good state within our own selves to bicker and squabble and snap at each other, right? Because you're
Mm.
not feeling good. But you know what? It it's just not that way.
Hmm.
It's not that way because I love who I am. He loves who he is, and we love each other. And so, you know what? There hasn't been one cross word. There
Hmm.
hasn't been one anything. Just about how we can help each other.
Hmm. Amen. And that's very important because obviously no one would want to give their loved one, something that, and chances are when you get it, you don't know you got it, and they're going to get it without, that sort of
Right.
thing. So it's really amazing because, with divine healing, that starts with love. Love yourself, and it's so important, so critical. Goodness, I like what you say about bringing energy to light because you're big on that about bringing your energy to life. I mean, bring it out in the
Right.
light. Because so many people live in darkness, don't they, Donna?
Oof. That's a big one. Um, I look at it like this. This something else I'd like to read.
Okay.
Because energy and your past, right? That's what we're talking about here. You can only
Hmm.
live in your past.
Right.
The past has no power over me because it is irrevocably broken. What awaits me at the end is far better than what I have been through.
Mm, I love that because, ladies and gentlemen, you are more powerful than you realize.
Absolutely.
You really are. And I've known ladies that's been up when I was younger, like a kid, and growing up. I knew ladies that were in their 80s and 90s, and their faith and their outlook on life. I remember this one lady. She was about 4 foot nothing, maybe 4'10", but when she stood up and when she walked, and she was up in years, she was a skyscraper among other people.
Hmm.
Because everywhere she went, she shared good news, she shared love, and she shared compassion for people. That was just the way her spiritual DNA was wired.
Right.
You also have a spiritual DNA that's wired for you to enjoy and share love and abundance with others.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. One of the things that is so important to me is when I go somewhere, Jim, is
Mhm.
giving somebody a smile,
Oh, yeah.
right? It
Oh,
costs
yeah.
nothing. It's free. It says that you matter.
Mm-hmm.
says that an eye contact when you smile at somebody,
Yeah.
and I can't tell you, I don't think I've ever been to a store in all my life that I haven't struck a conversation up with somebody.
Yeah. A lot of times too, when I'm walking into a store and someone's walking out, yeah, if it's a guy, I'll say, "Morning, sir. How you doing?"
Right.
And yeah, they'll say, "Good morning back." And I mean, it's a nicety because that echoes down all through the universe. Now it's above my pay grade, okay, but I do know that it echoes out there and it multiplies.
It does.
But if I walk up to, walking in and see some guy coming out, man, you should have stayed home, as ugly as you are,
Right. Or get out of
And
my way or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Those negative things just flame up everywhere. And because what you've done, you've harmed that person. You've ignited their negative feelings. Those negative feelings are going to be, probably released on
Echoed
somebody
out.
else.
Mhm.
Yeah, and definitely. So that's how important it is. And a lot of I tell the story, and I've told it a couple of times. So please forgive me in case someone out there hadn't heard it. I was, Donna knows that I got a warped sense of humor, and I was coming back from Arizona, and I'm on I-10, and I see these signs, easy off, easy on, clean, clean restrooms, great place to get food and gas, And I was thinking, they would have put a sign up there that says a great place to stop, get gas, and eat and get gas is what I want to say there. But I went in there, and very nice place, and got my fuel and went to the restroom and all. Picked up a couple things. I came back to the counter there, and this lady was standing there. And I said, "Look, you guys really got a nice place here." She said, "Oh, thank you," because it wasn't a typical, service station, Chevron or Shell or anything like that. It was just you could tell it was, privately owned, individual business. And I looked at her and I says, "Ma'am," I said, "there was one thing I wasn't able to do." And she says, "What was that?" And I said, "I wasn't able to clean the restrooms. I don't have time." And I said, "Because your sign said clean restrooms." And she burst out laughing. And that's all I wanted to do was just lighten her load and get a laugh from me and going away and chuckle about it going down the road a couple miles, But then she said something to me that I did not expect. She said, "Sir, I want to thank you for that joke." I forget what she said. I think she said a couple of weeks or whatever. It's been a long time since I've had a good laugh. I thought, wow. And you think about people like that who are doing hard time in life, and you have the ability to say something to put a smile on their face.
Absolutely.
Even if it's done like, "Good morning, how are you today?"
Right.
Some little something that means a lot.
Well, I love the analogy I heard years ago about give somebody a smile because maybe they have none to give away.
Isn't that the truth?
Right.
Isn't that the truth?
That one's always a tearjerker for me.
Yeah, yeah. Because I tell you, when it comes to living life and dealing with all of the things that no one's immune to it. We all lose loved ones. We all get sick. We all have problems and things like this. But your outlook on life will always determine your altitude in life.
Absolutely.
And that's very, very important. And, I tell the story many times about when I had open heart surgery. Before I had it, I went in for the procedure to get stents. And so I'm in a good mood, because I'm now in outpatient mode after being stuck in hospital the whole weekend. And then the surgeon said, or the cardiologist said, "This will not work for you." He says, "You need open heart surgery. You're going to need bypasses, and you need it today." And that happened on November the 1st, 2021. And I just said, "Okay, Lord, it's in your hands. If the surgery goes well, I go home. If it doesn't go well, I go home." And I did not make a request for a petition. I didn't ask for this, that, and the other.
Right.
But importantly, what came over me, ladies and gentlemen, was the peace and the calmness that I've never felt before. And I knew two things. Number one, the surgery would go well, my recovery would go well, and that's exactly what happened. And I share that with you because, I hope your faith in your hour of need And I think it qualifies my hour of need when I'm told I got to have open heart surgery, bypasses, and all that, and they
Right.
can't turn me loose. That's pretty much qualifies as an hour of need. But I hope your faith gives you the comfort you need in your hour of need. I mean that because I've
Right.
felt it, and it's a wonderful feeling. And that comes from the love and the abundance of the universe. And that's what we're talking about, being able to tap into that source and live it
Right.
day in and day out.
Right.
Ooh. I'm still working on my end on that. How about you, Donna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah.
And we worry about for me when I had my main brain surgery, which will
Oh,
be
yeah.
what, 6 years?
6 years. Mm-hmm.
6 years in July.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My worry was to make sure that everything was set up and in place for my children.
Mm.
Because I still had, young children at home, and I needed to make sure that everything was 100% ready to go. And when I did that, once that was all in place, Jim, I was at peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was at peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew that no matter what, my children were going to be okay.
Yeah. And that's
And the
because
rest,
you weren't looking for self, you were looking for the love of others. And
correct.
that's what it's about. And there's one thing that Bill says in his book, and I want to hit on this some, Donna. You are not, I'm speaking to the folks out there in TV land, you are not damaged goods. How many people, I've known people go through life and they think that they're damaged, past being
Right.
repaired. They feel like they're pushing a chain uphill, as I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's not the case. It's only the case if you believe it.
Right.
But if you look at the things that caused you to feel that you're damaged goods, and you say, okay, I love myself. I'm going to forgive myself for this. I'm going to forgive myself for putting up with that. That could be a person, place, or thing. Because some
Right.
people, some people they enjoy saying hurtful things to others. And the reason why they do, ladies and gentlemen, is because they're such a small person on the inside. It's the only way they can feel good about their worthless, good for nothing self.
It's a
Someone that
reflection
calls,
on them, not you.
yeah, exactly. Because,
So understand that it is a
yeah,
reflection on how they view their life and how
mhm,
they see their life on a daily basis. So
right,
when they say something to you out of the blue that is nasty, you know what?
mhm,
Let it go. Because at
yeah,
the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that you're doing fine. You're doing
yeah,
good.
yeah. And another thing too, this is a kind of a hard thing for us to get a grip on, at least with me. You really don't have control over what others think about you.
Right?
You really don't.
Nope.
If someone says, Jim, you're a good looking guy on TV, I don't have any control over that. Okay, well, thank you. At least it wasn't anything negative, but I don't have any control over that.
Right.
Not that anybody says that, but if they did say, well, it could happen. Oh my goodness. And also have humor in your life and laughter, because laughter is some of the best medicine you can give yourself, especially when you're hurting on the inside or you feel lonely on the inside. I mean, I always
And
say this a lot, and that is, look at the dog, the unconditional love of a dog. Why do we love our dogs so much? Because right out of the gate, they give you love.
yep.
Turn that around in your life. What if you give others love?
Well, the laughter and the humor in our life is so needed. And I'll give you, this was just out of the blue. We have 4 kittens. I've talked about this before on the show. We have 4 kittens, and they're approaching not quite a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our females, Niner, we call her 2-ton Tessie because she's so stout, you guys. She is just so stout. She's a thick girl. I know, right? And so my husband said to me the other day, he said, I think it'd be fun to video when she's just standing there and tip her over and say, folks, when you're at home with COVID, you improvise cow tipping and do cat tipping.
There you go. There you go. I like that.
Because she's just a little monster.
Oh, yeah. And, it just goes to show you how unique we all are made, because even our pets have a unique personality. Each one of them do. Oh, my goodness. I mean, some of them got a little more spice than the other ones did.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, yeah. And sometimes I get a kick out of asking Donna, how's things go this past weekend in your cat house?
Right.
Because you got 4 cats, and poor Edgy. How did it come about? You went somewhere and you came home with 4 kittens?
Well, we had lost between the 2 of us, we'd lost three of our cats in a year. And so it was kind of time to get some more kittens. And then we found this gal who had rescued Bullet out of a storm drain, no mama. So when I got him, I swear, y'all, he was this big. He was just a little teeny thing, and he was all full of himself sideways. And then we went and found these other 3, and we brought them home. And of course, they were scared beyond belief. They weren't really raised around humans. So Bullet, he just kind of showed them the ropes. Anyway, so next thing you know, we've got these 4 kittens because we thought, well, I don't want just 1. And 2 is fun. Well, if 2 is fun, 3's better. If 3's better, 4's going to be the right amount. Well,
right, nice round figure.
Right. Yeah, there are times. And then I have this 4-foot-long dog who in our kitchen, when we're in there working, and then the cats come in, and then you've got Jake come in. I'm telling you, it's like playing Twister in the kitchen, trying to step over the animals and not break your ankle at the same time.
Oh yeah, it's animals bring such joy and jubilee, and it's because of the way they interact with us. They accept us for who we are. They love us, especially dogs. I mean, cats are, like I tell people, dogs live with you. You live with cats.
Right.
And I don't know why it's like that, but they seem to, that's part of their spiritual DNA. Trust me on that one. I mean, we all know that, because cats are they walk to the beat of their own drum.
They do.
And I love it because one time this is an old story from the 70s. This guy that I knew, he made a comment in college about a class we were taking. He says, well, I can't stand cats.
Oh, I hear it all.
He was a big guy, and he had these stretch bib overalls that were very popular back then. They come out real big in the front.
Yep.
Like you almost need a wheelbarrow to roll your belly around. And on the back, they were flat, down the back, the butt, everything right down the legs. So it was just kind of like a big D. Okay. And he made the comment, he says, I hate cats. I can't stand them. And the professor who was teaching the class started asking some questions. And what it came down to, a dog, he said, come here, Butch, sit. And Butch would come over and sit. But you try that with a cat. They'll look at you and like, well, who died and left you in charge?
Right.
I mean, really, you can't, everything that a cat does is on their terms. And that's why a dog is referred to as man's best friend. And I've got the ticker tape up there that I like to tease Donna with from time to time. And
because he knows I don't have my glasses on, so I'm just now seeing it.
But, when it comes to a dog, think about how unconditionally that dog loves you and how that makes you feel.
Right.
So put that into a mirror, turn that around, and imagine how
your divine self-expression.
Imagine how someone else would feel if you reflected your love towards them.
Absolutely.
Love, compassion, and understanding, and appreciate that person for who they are, including their shortcomings and their faults.
Right.
Because we all have shortcomings, we all have faults. And it's just one of those things. It really is. And I mentioned dogs. I also want to mention this right here. We haven't talked about them much lately, but our charity that we really endorse, we're very proud of them. And this could be something that you could start out. The Shelter to Soldier organization. This is where soldiers who come back and people who suffer from PTSD, and you don't have to be a soldier to do this. You do with this organization, okay? But what if someone out there says, hey, I'd like to help people that suffer from depression. I like to help people that suffer from PTSD. And these folks here, their program is they provide a dog to someone who has suffered, to a soldier who has suffered from PTSD or has got some problems, suicide or whatever. And these dogs are rescued from shelters. And these are normally the dogs that people do not adopt.
Right. They're the bigger dogs, folks, the ones that are normally put down.
Yeah. So 2 lives are saved right there, right out of the gate. And their track record is tremendous. Every single soldier that has received a dog has not committed suicide. And in our life, think about how you can start a program with dogs and go around and visit people who are suffering from depression that may not have a pet in their life. Think about the joy and the jubilee that would be, because, especially pups. I mean, I love those dogs when they see someone and they're just all happy, because they're very, they just love being around humans. And that's the kind of pup that you need. And,
absolutely. I come home and I get the Pyrenees paw.
Yeah.
So Great Pyrenees are known for their peer paw. And they're big on putting their paw up and, big old paw going, hey, I love you. Hey, I love you.
Right. Oh, yeah. They want attention, don't they?
Yep. Well, this is, self-expression, having your authentic self-expression. This is what we're talking about. Give yourself that beautiful self-expression of love, loving yourself first.
We're going to talk a little bit.
I'm sorry. When you have the divine healing, it goes hand in hand, folks. Your divine healing and your self-expression go together.
And I'm just going to say, folks, we're going to share more about the divine, authentic self-expression so you can have more idea about it. And we're also going to cover divine truth and divine power. That'll probably be, we'll try to fit those in tomorrow's show, at least touch on them. But Friday's show, you're in for a treat. Mr. Bill Heinrich, the actual author and our personal friend of The 7 Levels of Truth. And that's Mr. Bill's picture right there. You're showing it. Okay. And let's give Mr. Bill's website here another plug here. Let me find it here. Let me find it. We got so many here. Here it is. True Life Purpose Now. Because if you want to tap in to your true life purpose now, get in touch with Bill, and he'll give you a free 30-minute complimentary consultation. And Donna will also do the same thing. Her website is donnaguinois.com. But if you're needing high energy, you need it right now. And that's what Donna realizes. So her email address is highenergyrightnow@gmail.com. And Donna, I tell you right now, this hour has went too fast.
It has. And we are out of quarters. We are out of time.
We're not out of material, that's for sure.
No, we are not out of material. And we're going to bring that back tomorrow. And then, of course, wrap up, like you said, Friday with Bill. And we are, honored and thrilled to have Bill with us here on Friday.
Oh, yeah, because we're going to let Bill just share whatever he wants to about these divine gifts, because he is the master at it. He's a guru of it. And I told Don, I think it was in yesterday's show or maybe the day before, I forget. But I'm going to be taking some notes. Yeah. Because Bill Heinrich is that valuable.
He's powerful.
any of the shows that we've got, if you want our website, our YouTube website, or anything like that, you can go to YouTube. It's known as Messages of Inspiration TV show, Inspirational Stories TV show, excuse me. But if you're like me, I'm a point and shoot guy. Email us and ask us any show that you want. We'll get you the direct link. We'll send it back to you. Either me, myself, Donna, or one of our staff there will. But most importantly, we will get the information to you. Because remember one thing, you matter. If you take the time to contact us, we're going to respond to you. That's how important you are.
Absolutely. And Jim and I want to thank each and every one of you who've tuned in. And we know that, time is the most valuable commodity we have.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we know that you could be anywhere, but you've chosen to spend it with us. And we hope that we have touched one person, just one person today, and help understanding your divine gifts. And there's going to be more about that tomorrow, folks.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have the master here on Friday. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be, I guarantee you that hour on Friday is going to be way too short.
Right.
But most importantly, you get to see Mr. Bill Heinrich in action. You can hear his verbiage, and you can get in touch with him for your free, what I call complimentary consultation for 30 minutes. The same true with Donna here. Just high energy right now at gmail.com. And ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone. We just want to thank you again. Like Donna says, we appreciate it. We realize you have the power of hitting a red X or turning the tube off or whatever, but you chose to watch us, and we really appreciate it. And our goal in life is to be able to make sure that we always provide good information to help you in your daily life.
Absolutely.
Remember to love yourself first, then you can love others. Most importantly, forgive yourself and let things go that you do not have control over. Donna, I guess it's time for us to go. I really hate to go.
We are out of time.
Yeah.